Right, welcome back to the Bodybuilding Education Series, episode 2. Today, I wanted to cover deloads. Now, this is a topic that I want to start really from the bottom, and I want to cover beginners first. If you are new to training and you are just starting off your journey, the likelihood of you needing a deload is very, very slim, because you are not in a position where your training will generate high amounts of fatigue through lifting higher loads. So it's pretty simple. If you're a beginner, do not consider taking lighter sessions or lesser volume sessions. All you will need, and this is very simple, work in a training block where you are going into the gym, sticking to your program religiously, and your adherence is 100% to that program over time. And you are training as hard, as accurately as you physically can, and taking as much progression as you can whilst keeping your form standardized. That is all you have to focus on. Inevitably, over time, you will get to a point where you will get tired, and you will get to a point where you need to take a break for a variety of reasons that I want to cover later in the video. For you guys, the option is pretty simple. When you get to that point where your motivation dips, where you are tired, you have poor digestion, poor sleep, poor sex drive, clicky joints, lack of pump in the gym, and general lack of progression, these are all signs of needing a deload. If you are going to get to that point, guys, all you need to do is take 3 to 6 days off training completely, reset, and go back into the gym when your motivation comes back, your sleep improves, and you are feeling like you are up for training again. However, do not concern yourself with managing fatigue. At the start of your journey, all I want you to focus on is training as hard as you physically can, taking as much progression as you can. I want you to learn to really dig in and take yourself to that place where you are buried and you are tired and you are fatigued and you need the time off. You have to earn that right, and you have to put the work in before you warrant needing a deload. That is my opening line for the deload as part of the series, episode 2. Now, moving forward, guys, more advanced trainers to elite trainers, there will be a slight difference in how I like to approach deloads with certain individuals that I want to cover on a broad spectrum. And again, this will vary person to person massively. However, I want to touch on my favorite ways of taking deloads and devolumes, which is my preference, and why. And more importantly, I want to educate you why it will benefit your progression and why you should consider taking weeks like this on a regular basis. Whether you auto-regulate them, which means that you take them when they're needed, or have them fixed into your training blocks, into your timeline, which, again, I will cover timelines in the next video. Now, firstly, guys, my favorite way to drop fatigue and take a deload is pretty simple. I like to take extra rest days when they're needed, 2 to 3 days off, first and foremost. From then on, I will run 3 to 6 devolume sessions, reducing my total training volume by 50% of my regular training volume. So generally, I will work at my maximum recoverable training volume, which means that I am working at my highest capacity of my total working sets that I can still progress with. So for example, my leg days consist of 16 sets in total. When I devolume in aiming to drop fatigue, I will reduce the total training volume down to that session to just 8 working sets. It's as simple as that. I will not back off the intensity. If my joints are feeling sore or I'm not feeling quite safe, I will take higher rep sets, but I am still working with the intensity and the loading that I'm used to, because it's not the load intensity that generally drives the fatigue. It is more so your total training volume. So my approach is going into these sessions, staying super calm and collected. I do not mentally psych myself up to reach that next level. I don't get angry, which again, I love being angry in my training sessions. It makes me happy. So if you're against that, don't do it. Do whatever makes you tick to be able to reach that next level, but that's another conversation. Now, what I tend to do, guys, is simple. 50% reduction in training volume throughout these sessions. My intensity does not reduce. However, I do not take any 50-50 reps. So any reps that I'm unsure of completing, I will not take them. I will rack the weight and leave it there. I will not use any music that neurologically drives me forward and takes me to that next level when it comes to training progression. And I will simply calmly complete the sessions until I feel like I am good enough to bring the training volume back up. Now, the signs of needing a deload. For me personally, first and foremost, I start holding a lot more water retention. So I actually start looking worse. The muscle doesn't hold as much glycogen when you are tired. So you will appear looking flatter, and you will feel flatter also. Your blood glucose, your fasted blood sugars may be elevated. Your resting heart rate may be elevated. As your body's under stress, your body's tired, your body's fighting the fatigue. Your sleep quality will diminish. And what you'll find, guys, is you will find it much harder to fall to sleep when you are tired. You will only want to sleep through the day. And once you are actually asleep, you will wake up in numerous occasions over that period. And sex drive may dip. You may have, if you're a female, you may have irregularity in your cycle. Appetite tends to dip. So these are all the points that you may want to look out for when you personally need a deload. And again, all these signs may vary person to person. Some people just get joint pain. Some people get demotivated to train. So again, it's always down to you guys to kind of pinpoint and find what you may feel like when you're experiencing that. And obviously, if you are using a logbook or you measure it in any sort of progression, you will always find when you are dual deload, your progression is much harder to come by. And sometimes your lifts may even stall or start regressing. That's when you know you need to back off. And another big factor is as well, when you're in the gym, you won't get the same pumps. And you almost feel like your joints are drier and you're not able to complete the normal grind reps that you generally would. So these are all the points that you need to look out for. Now, sometimes how we deload may be down to preference. That's something I want to finish off on because everyone's different. Some people, when they get tired, they just want to stay away from the gym. Some people have such a massive emotional attachment to the training, they are unable to go in the gym and work with less training volume. In that instance, I will make people just completely rest, and I will allow them to go back into the gym when they are itching to get back to training. Do not end your deload prematurely, because if you end your deload prematurely, all it means, guys, you're going to get a couple of weeks of training and then you're back at square one, you need to deload again. That's the last thing you want to do. Now, generally, how often do you need to deload? That is another important question I want to cover is, you want to and you need to deload every 6 to 8 weeks. And in my opinion, deloads can be auto-regulated, but for most people, including myself, that have a massive emotional attachment to performance and training, I actually pre-plan them and I take them on the week stated or even earlier if I see the signs of needing it. Why? Deloads are a fantastic way to push you into the next level of progression. A well-executed deload resensitizes you to training volume, and from some of the research that Brad Schoenfield has put out, it actually resensitizes you to some of the hypertrophy processes. So taking time away from gym, taking a break from the training volume that you're normally used to, can be of massive benefit. And your perception needs to change, guys, because these weeks, if you take them when they are needed, and if you have earned the right to take them, they will only push you and elevate you into progression moving forward. So they are essential part of the process when it comes to building out your timeline to effectively progress throughout your off-season or even contest prep. Now, guys, please let me know if you've got any questions. Comment below, or again, comment on my Instagram. Any way you want me to help you out, guys, always don't be afraid to reach out. I'm more than willing to help. I'm more than willing to shoot videos to help you along your journey as well. Any questions, guys, as always, pop them down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And episode 2, Bodybuilding Education Series. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like this sort of content, support the channel, and much more to come your way. Thank you, guys, and peace out for now. And special thank you to Gaz as well. Believe it or not, guys, he's actually stood here filming this freehand on his camera. Now, I don't see many videographers do that, so that takes a special kind of talent. So thank you to Gaz as well for shooting the videos, doing a great job. Now, guys, Thank you, take care, peace out for now. Reach out to me and Gaz, description below. Take care for now.